and welcome to episode 14 of Fahrenheit AI. Please like and subscribe. In this episode, we're going to look at robot vacuums, a film called Airhead, Sora advancements, and the Ink Kitchen AI agent. Sora has made a lot of advancements in generative AI technology since its release. Look at the hands and the spokes. You can see how realistic everything is generating. A balloon man in a cactus store is very apocalyptic. Some of the only errors that I saw in this video are the double string on the balloon occasionally, which is reminiscent of multiple fingers, and the creepy cat. The man's hand at the end with the peace sign, his fingers look a bit webbed. I'm not sure what's happening with the ceiling in his office. But overall, Sora's advancements are incredible, and it's a bit confusing to think that this isn't real. In Mind Studio, we've created 2 AI agents, Embellish AI and Heat Press for Profit AI Assistant. And now we've created our third, the Ink Kitchen Assistant. There are 2 copies of Embellish AI because I've modified them to be slightly different from one another so that I can do further testing, which is easy to do in Mind Studio. The first step is to identify the general settings of the agent. This is an Ink Kitchen Assistant, and the description is a reference assistant for Ink Kitchen content. This agent didn't start out that way. I had this agent as a print technician, and I will likely extend this agent's capability into that in the future. The Ink Kitchen website is a blog site that's based on multiple topics that you can choose from: decorating, business, ethics, and design. Once you've chosen a topic, you can scroll through multiple blogs. If you want to find a specific topic, you have to use the search tool. Using the search tool, we're going to search for water base, and that brings up several blogs that relate to water base. If you wanted to be more specific than that, for example, getting started in water base, it's a bit more challenging for the search tool as it stands, and it doesn't bring up any blogs. This is where an AI agent could be really helpful. So what we're building is a search engine for the Ink Kitchen that we can expand in the future to be more technical. This requires us to build a data set out of the blogs. Once the data set is built, everything is loaded into Mind Studio and it's able to reference that. To do that, I used a tool that would allow me to extract the blogs as well as some content about them from theinkkitchen.com. If you have access to this information, you can do it that way. I was looking for short descriptions and titles so that the agent would have a quick reference to find the information the user wants. I used convert HTML to text, and all this required me to do was put in the website, it converted to text, and I copied and pasted it into a text file. I continued to do this through all the pages of the Ink Kitchen. I was able to collect a title, a short description of the blog, the date that it was created, the authors, and the people included. The next part of my agent is the input. This is a short text input that is labeled a variable of question, which we will use in the automation. Then it's configured to say question. This is the UI that the human will interface with when they log into the agent. Then we started the automation, and essentially it's a 6-step process, very basic and simple. It involves user input, which is the question. Then it scrapes the YouTube website, and then it queries the data source, and then it sends a message back to the human. Let's check out these ads from our amazing sponsors. once we have the user input as the question, the next step is the YouTube extraction. This is why I really like Mind Studio, and I've been sticking with it for the time being. It has custom functions that you can add that users are building and making available to other users, like this YouTube extraction, for example. You add that in, then you fill out the configuration that is required. The YouTube function will ask for a Google Cloud API key. What it actually needs is a YouTube API key, and then the channel ID, and the output variable in this case is IK. The next step is to query the data source. The data source that we've gathered is the blog information with the dates and the names and a short summary. We're querying the dataset, blog. The variable is in red and in parentheses so that the agent recognizes that it's a variable. For relevant blog post content as it relates to the human's question. Again, question is the user input and it's also a variable. The next step, send the message to the human. That requires reiterating the previous steps and adding the final step to the message that the agent will use to perform the action. This takes a bit of practice, and in my case, I did get it wrong for a while. The agent would create false blogs that represented the videos. I had to change the message to be very specific about how and what it was sending. Use queried data from IK, the in-kitchen YouTube variable IK, and separately use queried data from the blog summary variable blog. Concisely and accurately send a response to the user of 3 blog names and 1 separate video name with a link to the video for them to reference about the variable question. The blogs variable blog and the video variable IK recommendation can be different or the same depending on what is best suited to answer the question, variable question. Taking a look at the prompt that was generated for the agent that we've looked at in the past, I did use one of the tricks that I tried in an earlier episode, except I changed it up this time. I used ChatGPT to create the initial prompt, but instead of asking ChatGPT to expand on what I was giving it, I asked it to write it in a language that an AI would understand and it would be very clear to the AI. I wrote my initial request for what I wanted the agent to perform, and then I fed that into ChatGPT with the comment, please create text that is readable by an AI and a prompt that would help to build an AI agent using this context. And ChatGPT gave back task description, data sources, response guidelines, tone, factual constraints, and purpose. And with that, I was able to create a successful agent. Finally, choosing our model. In this case, we're using Claude 3 Opus. Claude 3 Opus is currently outperforming GPT-4. The temperature is set at 0.5. I set the temperature to 0.5 because when it was creating the false blogs, I was worried that it was because the temperature was too high. I discovered that that was not the reason, but I left the temperature lower so that I could get used to the behavior of the agent before raising the temperature again. I prefer a temperature of around 0.65 because it's more creative and more interesting to read, but it's also more prone to hallucination. My max response size is 700 words because I wanted the response to be engaging, but not so long that people gave up on it. Sora better watch out because robot vacuums are changing. This one can climb stairs. As the technology changes, the silhouette is changing, so the training data that a video generator might be using will become out of date very quickly. It's really interesting to think of something that's so new like AI video generation being out of date by its own technology and things that it is involved in creating. Check out this other video from Sora, which is really captivating.
Episode 1 unveils the giraffe flamingo, a stunning hybrid that roams the savannah with grace and vibrant hues. In Episode 2, we ascend the flying pigs, charming creatures that redefine the skies with their harmonious flight. Episode 3 plunges us into the depths to discover the whale puss, an elegant blend of whale and octopus ruling the ocean's abyss. Episode 4 introduces us to the eel cat, an aquatic enigma that combines the sleekness of an eel with the curiosity of a cat. Episode 5 presents the bunny armadillo, a delightful mix of bunny charm and armadillo protection, captivating our hearts. Episode 6 features the horsefly, a small yet noble creature that buzzes with a blend of horse-like dignity and fly-like agility. Episode 7 explores the reptilian aru, a creature that leaps across the desert with the vigor of a kangaroo and the resilience of a reptile. Our adventure culminates in Episode 8 with the fox crow, a fusion of fox cunning and crow freedom soaring through the forest's enigma.
Now we can look at the AI agent in action. This is the landing page for the AI agent, which has a question field. We're going to ask it getting started with Waterbase, just like we did on the In Kitchen website. The agent responds with 3 blogs and a video, just like we requested. The blogs have dates on them with summaries. The video has a link as well as the date. Let's check and see if these blogs are real. The first one, Don't Be a Cheap Bastard, is real, and it's on the In Kitchen, and it's a working blog. So that's promising. The next one, Happy Earth Day, April 22nd, 2015. There are 3 different Earth Day blogs on the In Kitchen. One of them is from 2015, but you could watch any of them and see if it's relevant to the topic. And then the last one, I'm not sure if it's real. Oh, look, it is. Because it matches the video, but it is a video post. And you can always go back to the AI and actually click on the link for the video post. In future episodes, we're going to try and add the links to the blog. And when that's functioning well, we'll start to add back some of the print technician data sets.
Afternoon, welcome to Shop Talks.
So that the agent is able to answer some of the questions along with providing links and resources on the In Kitchen. Check out the link below and let me know what you think in the comments.
It's the